Okay. Best way, I'll record to the cloud directly. To the cloud simply means that we'll get a copy of the meeting after. Therefore, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, guys, and welcome to today's session. Welcome to today's session. Please note that this is basically a free session from me to you guys. Just thanking you guys for being with us in the Fourth Wave group. And note that everything that I'll speak about in the meeting is from personal experience, and it is not to be confused or constituted as financial advice to whoever is in need. I am not a professional financial advisor whatsoever. Every little piece of information that I'll be sharing with you guys is from my personal experience, and should you wish to apply and copy what I do, do that at your own risk and understanding that you are not me. And we are definitely not on the same level of experience when it comes to trading. Thank you. Let us proceed. Now, Nasdaq, Fourth Wave. This has to be one of the greatest waves that I think we've probably had. You know, comparing it with the third wave, basically third and fourth wave, third being March, I would say fourth is almost by far perfect, except for the news that you guys voted for previously, if you remember correctly, right? So now, the whole purpose of this meeting is to assist you guys going further, from now on going further in the future, in terms of how to tackle Nasdaq. So I have a couple of topics that I'm going to be talking about, right? So normally the first question that I get is, which one is the right broker, or what is the right broker to use when it comes to trading Nasdaq, you know? And entirely, there's no perfect broker, man, guys. I mean, there's no such thing as this is the perfect broker, you know? I can name a few. Some are using FBK. Excuse my handwriting. Some are using Vault Markets. Excuse my spelling. Some are using XNES, you know. Some are using XM, you know, whatsoever. Doesn't matter. Whatever the broker you're using, it's fine. So this service is not limited to a broker that you are using. You can literally use any broker that you wish to use, right? And speaking of leverages, right? Ideally, on a personal level, I always prefer using a broker that has a leverage of 1:888 or more, right? 1:888 or more refers to, basically, I'll give an example after. Let me just give the type of leverages that I feel comfortable with, followed by 1:1000. From there, it's 1:2000. From there, brokers like XNES offers 1:unlimited, meaning that etc. can go as far as it can go, right? So when it comes to the type of broker, this is what I prefer. Why? Because it allows me to trade Nasdaq with less money, and I'm able to trade as if I have more money. Most of you guys who are experienced know this, right? And one would ask and say, how about the leverage of 1:500? It's all about preference. I do not prefer that. Hence, I said at the beginning of the meeting that everything that I'll be sharing with you guys is from nothing but a personal experience perspective, right? So now going back to our platform. Now that you understand that you can trade the signals using any broker. But also, I want you to also note that each broker has different denotion as to how they note their pairs, right? I'm going to give an example of what I'm referring to. For example, in FBK markets, which is basically our family broker, in FBK markets, we are using Nasdaq as sorry. How do I draw? Yeah. These things now. Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah, we are using Nasdaq as US tech, right? On XM, we're sharing the same name. On Vault, we're sharing the same name. But other brokers, it's listed as US 100. Other brokers is listed as NAS 100. Other brokers, it's listed as Nasdaq. Doesn't matter. It's the same thing, right? All these things, it's literally the same thing, you know, because I got most people getting confused as to my broker's Nasdaq is not the same as yours. You know, am I doing the correct things? Am I trading the right things? Well, you are, trust me, you are trading the right things, right? Now, moving on to the next thing. In terms of the broker you are sorted, account types, most important thing. And most of you guys lose even when you're not supposed to lose because of not understanding account types, right? So moving to account types, allow me to just erase everything here. So account types, we have a couple of account types that we can basically use. So we have a standard account. We have actually, let me do this. Let me end with the smallest one. We have a standard, we have a bonus 100 account. We have a zero spread account. We have a zero spread account. We have what else? Let me just end with the micro, right? So each account type has a requirement. For example, on a standard account, you need about 600 Rand to open a trade on Nasdaq using lot size 0.01. All these examples are denoted with lot size 0.01. You need $600 to open a Nasdaq trade on a standard account, provided your leverage is 1:1,000 or more conditionally, meaning that if your leverage is lower, you might your leverage, if your leverage is smaller, you might need to consider funding with more money, but you need 600 Rands. Now, bonus account, you need 300 Rands. I'm referring to bonus 100. You need 300 Rands to open 0.01 lot size on Nasdaq pair. Zero spread, you need the entire 600. So zero spread is mostly the same as standard, basically. So now all these three account types, standard, bonus, and zero spread, they're all the same, right? They are fixed at 100,000 units, right? So micro is the one that is slightly different, right? Keep in mind, I'll always primarily give examples using FBK markets because that is our family broker that I have full access to in terms of exploring. On micro account, you literally need as little as 5 Rands to open a trade on Nasdaq, provided your leverage is 1:1,000, right? You need as little as 5 Rands literally to start, right? Ideally, the minimum deposit is 20 Rand. This simply means that the system will only allow 20 Rand from your bank account to your trading account. But if you happen to lose 15 Rand and be left with 5 Rand, you can still trade. It's not a problem. It's just that you can't find ideally with 5 rands, but you can still be able to trade, right? So I hope that makes sense. Now, the biggest question that I always get is, Coach, I have 1,000 rands. Which account is suitable for me? Coach, I have 2,000 rands. Which account is suitable for me? Coach, I have 150. Coach, I have 40 rands. Which account is suitable for me? Hence, I said everything that I'll be saying in this meeting is based on my personal experience. Ideally, personally, I would never use a standard account. Literally, I would never use a standard account if I have less than 2,000 rands. The biggest question is why? Because on a standard account, bonus, zero spread, I take them as the same, keep in mind. On a standard account using lot size 0.01, right? Literally 30 points against me, I will be sitting on a loss of about plus or minus 600, depending on the spread, right? So what this means is, for me to blow that account, the market needs to go more than 90 points plus against me, which is fair enough for me. I mean, I can take a loss if the market moves 90 points against me. That means that things were never gonna go my way either way. So I would literally accept defeat if that's the case, right? Now, when it's like that, or when it's like this, now you know that ideally, if now, as much as you are allowed to trade Nasdaq with 600 rands or equivalent to $34 or $35 converted, 30 points against you, your account is blown, which is what some of you guys have experienced previously, right? Whereby you fund with 500, 600, 800, whatsoever, just slight balancing of rejection against you, therefore your account is blown, you know. So which is why I say at least 2,000 rands from 0.01 is good enough for me, right? Now the next question is, therefore, if I want to use micro account, how much do I need to have, right? So micro account is the smallest. You just need to deposit 20 rands. And then in terms of lot size, per 20 rands, you can be able to use lot size 0.04. But ideally, what I do is I would have 0.1 lot sizes times 4. So I would have 0.01, I would have 0.01, I would have 0.01, I would have 0.01, up until they total to the sum of 0.04. Obviously, ideally, this differs based on trading conditions and the broker that you're using at that time, right? So ideally, 0.01 times 4, sometimes it allows you one trade, sometimes two trades. It depends on the margin requirements. The margin, there's what we call, when you're trading with an A-book broker, there is what we call illiquidity, right? There's a word that we call illiquidity, illiquidity, right? So now what illiquidity simply means that at the time of you, also known as off codes, yes. As another term for it occasionally is off codes, excuse my spelling, right? So what illiquidity means is, at the time of you trying to open that particular trade, there was no enough liquidity for the price that you were asking to buy or sell at. Therefore, your trade cannot go through. Why? Because if it's a B-book broker, it will go in anytime, any moment, because there's no liquidity. I repeat, there's what we call illiquidity, also known as off codes. Simply means that the server is full. The amount of liquidity that is available at that time on the market has been occupied. Therefore, when you're trying to buy or sell on a new price or whatsoever, it's highly impossible for you to get into that particular trade. Now, you guys always get mad when you see these things. of codes, illiquidity and whatnot without having to understand the complexity of what you're trading, right? So this is what it means. Now, the biggest question is how to solve this. You cannot solve this because a broker doesn't know the amount of liquidity that is provided to them. Only the liquidity provider knows, and the liquidity provider manages its own risk at its own preferred time. You can't come to me and say, coach, why is FBK market saying there is no liquidity? I wouldn't know. I'm not your liquidity provider. Therefore, the liquidity provider is within their rights. I'm going to be brutally honest with you guys. And I want you to hear me and hear me properly, right? Now I'm speaking as your mentor. And this drawing will make you understand what life is. I want you to pay close attention. Before I start with the drawing, I want to pick your brains. I want to test you guys. According to you guys, where does Forex money comes from? Literally, according to what you guys are thinking. Please let me know on the chat box. The chat box won't appear on our recording, by the way. I'm the one who's able to see it, and the people who are on the live chat. Some are saying us, banks, institutions, banks, big banks, from us, you know, yeah, from sellers and buyers. Interesting answers. Now, market makers, traders, thank you guys for your answers, right? Now, I want you to think for a moment. There is this thing called Forex, right? And they tell you that you can make a lot of money from it. And you are coming into the Forex space with the idea that you want to make a lot of money, right? With the idea that you want to make a lot of money. This is you as a trader. You hear that there is Forex, you know, there is like dollars there. There is dollars. There's money to be made. This is a US dollar sign. Excuse my drawing, guys. There is dollars there. You can make a lot of money. Now, you want to come in and make money. But what you don't know is there is what we call key players in the foreign exchange industry. The key players are the big banks, Swiss Bank, Citigroup, Barclays, just to name a few. Bank of America, you know, just to name a few, just an example. Now, what those guys are doing is they're pumping money into the whole financial system, you know, the whole financial system, literally, they're pumping money. Now, when you as a retail trader, when you are losing money, you are literally making these guys rich, the key players, right? Now, your aim as a retail trader is to take money from them. So literally, these guys they've put money on the market. You can see the money is there, 6 trillion USD. You are coming in to take a share of that 6 trillion, and then they've invested that 6 trillion. That 6 trillion was invested by a person, literally, right? It's a human, it's not a robot, it's not whatsoever. Everything in this country, the financial system, the financial markets have been designed by someone. They are controlled by someone. There is no such thing as the market moves itself. These people are manipulating the market and the price into what they want it to become. That's why the wealthiest will never go broke, literally, because they are the ones who control who gets rich, how far do they get rich for whatsoever, right? You are coming in, you want to take their money, and then what you don't know is they also want your money, but they can't take your money directly. Literally, they can't take your money directly without an institution called a broker. That is where a broker comes in. But ideally, on this chart, it's going to be you first, the broker, the liquidity, right? You cannot have direct access to the market. So therefore, they will be using the broker to take your money, right? So what I'm trying to teach you guys is stop crying when they manipulate you and you lose. right? Because they also need to make money. Through what? Through you losing. It's a dog-eat-dog world. If you think ideally this is not for you, then you might as well stop trading today. I don't think anyone will force you to come back. You know, it's a dog-eat-dog world. Unfortunately, you need to know the truth, my people. When these guys make money, they make money because you lost. I'm referring to the liquidity provider, not the broker, because the broker has types. I'm referring to the liquidity provider, the ones who are giving each broker the prices. Look at the pricing. For example, right now, you're able to see my chart, right? Nasdaq is on 12,796. I'm referring to the people who are giving the pricing in real time. They want to make money out of you, and you want to make money out of them. Therefore, we will see who is the winner. Now, the nice part about it is when you're not greedy, you'll always come out as a winner. When you're very much consistent, you will always come out as a winner. I hope the broker and the account types has been explained thoroughly, and I'll be moving to the next topic, right? I'll take in questions after, guys, after everything. So now, the third topic that we're going to be dealing with is stop loss, right? Ideally, what is stop loss? So I'm going to attempt opening a trade right now. I have about 399 rands. I'll be opening a trade, right? I'll be opening a trade on micro account. Actually, I'll be using lot size 1. Let me see if it will go through. You know the sound. Once it says it means the lot size is too huge. Let me try 0.10. It's in, right? You can see my order is counting. I've sold, right? This is just an example, guys. Don't do what I'm doing. Now, I can, let me just keep quiet. It's fine. So now I've opened an order, right? So ideally, there's what we call stop loss. Stop loss is simply you setting or protecting yourself from further losses than what the market can potentially go against you for, right? So I always tell people that I do not set stop loss, right? I do not set stop loss. Why? Because ideally, basically, what I'm trading, literally at that given moment, whatever that I'm trading, whatever amount of money that I've put into my trading account is literally what I'm willing to lose at that given moment. Therefore, I don't put stop loss, right? So why deposit 1,000 rands if you're not willing to lose 1,000 rands? So I don't see a need for stop loss at all. Literally, I don't see a need. And to set it on a PC, it's quite easier. When you're for a sell stop order, when you drag this to the bottom, therefore it's automatically your TP. But when it's above, it's your stop loss. Vice versa, same goes to your buy order. So, for example, I've set my stop loss currently at about let me say, I don't understand how it's writing these points, but whatever, doesn't matter. Yeah, I've set my points at about, so it says I've set it at about 1,950 pips, but it's not really pips. It has to be pre-points or something like that. This can be pips. And it's showing me that I'm going to lose about 35 rands if the trade or the order goes against me, right? So ideally, I don't set this at all. Why? Because I've funded with an amount of money that I'm willing to lose at that given moment per trade. Now, moving to TP, the fourth topic, which is ideally take profit. Now, for example, I've just dragged my TP here. and it says I'll be banging about 4484, which is 4,484 pips, which is ideally 3 points in reality, which will give me about 82 rands if the market reaches the red line that you see on the screen. Please note that you can zoom in, zoom out if you're unable to see what I'm showing you guys on the screen properly. But note that when you're watching this on a recording, you will not be able to do so, right? So ideally, when it comes to Nasdaq, right, we do have a TP, but it's by choice. Personally, I don't set TP. Personally, I don't set TP, and I have my reasons why I don't set TP. But when I do have to set TP, when push come to shaft, now I'm forced to set TP. I'll be setting my TP at 30 points from the entry. Now, biggest question is, what is 30 points from the entry? If Nasdaq price is on 12873 and I am buying, right? And I'm buying. So that means that my TP will be at 12,873 plus 30, which will be 12,903. That is going to be my TP. Therefore, it means that when the market reaches 12,903, I'm going out. So ideally, the default take profit for Nasdaq signals is 30 points, right? 30 points is the default one that I use personally. You'll just see what works for you, right? Ideally, the highest points that I've seen on a Nasdaq signal was 146 points, the highest that I've seen and that I've recorded, right? So that means that it's going to be almost 30 points times almost 5, right? But ideally, on fourth wave, the market normally gave us plus or minus 100 points, which was good enough. Mara, the average TP that I always go for in most cases, that's 60 points. Now, if you check the admin's videos that I've been sending in the WhatsApp groups, you will see that most of these trades, it's about 60 points, 70 points or whatsoever. Anything from 60 points whatsoever to us, it's TP, right? So I hope now you got your answer in terms of what TP to set. It's always up to you. Literally, it's always up to you. It's a choice that you as a trader need to make, right? Now we're moving to topic number 5, which is analysis. How do we analyze Nasdaq? Literally, let me cancel my TP. I don't like take profit on the market. I want the market to move as far as possible. Why is it not canceling? Oh yeah, sorry, it was delaying. I want the market to move as smooth as possible, literally, because you can never really know how far it can go. So that comes because I'm personally greedy. Maybe that's why, right? Now, how do we analyze Nasdaq market? I mean, remember now, guys, let me go back to the drawing board. There is literally millions of people trading in the world, literally millions. And the chart starts from here. These are the prices. The market is moving. The market is moving. The market is moving. Right? Now, when the market is moving, this is just an example of what we call linear. I think they call it linear. This type of example, where is it? Yeah, this, when your chart is like this. Yeah, so that's just the example that I'm actually showing you guys, because I won't be able to draw the bar charts. So the price is moving like this. What are the odds and what are the chances that out of everyone, the millions of people who are trading on the market at that given moment, what are the odds that only your analysis are correct? What are the odds, literally? Your odds are almost at zero. You don't stand a chance against millions of traders. Now, if you don't stand a chance against millions of traders, then why do people like me keep on winning? Why do people like me keep on winning, like all the time? Why do we keep on moving, right? Because ideally, most of you guys would actually trust my judgment better than yours, right? Number one, experience. Excuse my spelling if it's wrong. Experience. I have 7 years. Now, I have 7 years experience in trading. When I say 7 years experience in trading, I simply mean that 7 years of looking at the market 24 hours for whatever period I'm still awake for, literally. Now, your 7 years or your 10 years will never be the same as mine because you go to school, you go to work. Therefore, our results shall and will never be the same, right? So these are the things that you cannot buy. You cannot buy them. And that is the secret to analyzing Nasdaq, right? Fundamentalist. I'll be explaining all these points after. Allow me to just type. I'm typing from my head, by the way. I'm not copying anywhere else. So excuse me if I'm taking a bit of time. Now, these are by far the 10 points, right? I don't know if it will allow me to zoom this. No, it's not allowing me to zoom it, but it's fine. Yes. So now these are the 10 points. Keep in mind that you can zoom in on your screen, zoom in, zoom out the same way you're doing so on pictures. And you will be able to basically see what's happening, right? So now, number one, 7 years experience. It's something that you cannot buy. You literally cannot buy the kind of experience that I have on the market. And my 7 years of experience on the chart is worth millions in terms of the number of information I have, right? And the experience that I have is not about winning. The experience that I have involves about 95% of failing, right? That is what we call experience. Now, once you have gotten to that stage whereby now you have that 97, you have that 97, I mean, that 95% of losing, what happens after is you become confident, right? So I'm literally confident and proud of my losses and my wins. And that is why to some of you guys, I look like a mini trading god, you know, and most of you guys wish you can have the kind of confidence that I have, but my confidence is too dark that if you were to walk a mile in my shoe, most of you guys would even faint before you even take your first step. You know, it's filled with disappointment in most cases, bad memories in most cases, losses, tears, and everything. So that brings confidence to me to say, hey, I can do this, you know? And it's something that you cannot buy from anyone. You develop with time. And it's not even about a period of time. Some of you guys can get it in 1 year, some 2, 3, 4, some 15 years. It's all about what kind of a person are you and how committed are you to the chart, right? That is number 2. Number 3, I'm a fundamentalist. I've been a fundamentalist for 7 years fully. And what that has done for me is understand the fundamental logistics that move the market up and down, right? There is nothing technical that moves the market. I repeat, there is nothing technical that moves the market. I'm referring to any trading robot. I'm referring to any indicators. There is nothing technical that moves the market, right? Everything that moves the market has to do with fundamentals, right? Now, I have pretty much 7 experience in that department because ideally, as you all know, I've been a fundamentalist all my life, ideally, right? Now, history, number 4, technicals. I've started trading technicals in 2020, and ideally technicals for me simply means that you're going to be staying on the market for hours. That is what technical means. It doesn't mean that you are seeing anything that is unique whatsoever, because when you're doing technicals, you still need to refer back to fundamentals. Show me a technical trader who deliberately goes against news and still wins. Literally no one. When it's time for NFP, CPI, we all know that it's going to be hell in a cell. And there is no single trader that can deliberately go against what the news are saying, right? So that's why I still say technicals do not move the market at all, my people, right? Sharp. Now, number 5, I'm a risk taker. You know, risk taker simply means that when I put 5,000 rands on the market, I would want to go out with 50,000. And for me, it's not even about the duration. It's not even about how long I'll take to get there. For me, it's about getting that goal done. It's about achieving whatever that I need to achieve at that given moment. Irregardless of whatever that it takes, I need to come out as a winner. That is what a risk taker means. Now, there's what we call soft traders. Soft traders, whenever they see, here's what kills you guys the most. Here's what kills you guys. Most of you guys are getting killed by this the most. And some of you guys can relate to it. How many times in your life have you seen profit and held on to profits? Number 1. How long was the duration that you've held on to profits for? And how many times have you seen losses in your life? What is the max duration that you've held on to losses for in your entire life? When you compare the time frames in terms of the amount of time that you've spent holding on to losses as to compared to holding on to profits, the amount of time that you spend holding on to losses is slightly higher compared to the amount of time that you spend holding on to profits. Immediately when you see small profits, the first thing that you want is to go out. Why? Because you're panicking. You're literally panicking, which is normal, right? And that is where the psychological part of the market comes in. That is where the liquidity wants you. That is where they're going to nail you, because they know that you are vulnerable as a person. You are very much weak. Psychologically, they've gotten you, literally. You are able to hold on to a loss for much longer, but you can't hold on to a profit for much longer. One of the chat, someone is saying that I've held on to a loss for 3 weeks, but how many people can hold on to profits for 3 weeks? Literally no one. As soon as it's $1, you are out, and you consider yourself a winner, and you are the biggest loser. Trust me. Why? Because your risk ratio is not corresponding with your rewards. You are entirely risking 6 hours of your time with your last 1,000 rand sitting on a loss of about 700 for a whole 6 hours. Immediately when you come back on profit of 90 rand, you are out and you post a WhatsApp status saying you want to trade. If I was a liquidity provider, I would create a comedy show with you guys because that's the psychological part of it. Now, once you start nailing that psychological part of it, understanding that, you know what, it's either I make money or I lose money. What does it take for me to be a risk taker? What does it take? What do I need to be a risk taker? Right? A professional risk taker like me, I'm a professional risk taker. The amount of loss I'm able to hold on to is the amount of profit I'm able to hold on to. And that is why what I've taught the admin. That is why most of the things that he does mostly seem impossible, because he was doing the same thing. He would hold on to losses for the longest time without closing, but immediately when he's on profit, he wants to close. Why? Why are you trading in the first place? He's telling me that, no, I need to close because I'm going to lose. Who says you can't lose when you're on a loss? You have held on to that loss. Did you lose? No, the market came back. Then now immediately when you see $1, why do you see a need to close? You know, it's a psychological thing. You need to develop it, and everything, each and every step has a collaboration with the next. You cannot just be a risk taker if you don't know number 4, which is technicals, if you don't know number 3, which is fundamentals, if you don't have confidence, which is number 2, if you don't have experience, which is number 1. I hope that makes sense. You cannot skip these things. It's a sequence, it's a storyline that you need to follow irregardless, right? Sharp. Now, number 6, loser. It goes back to number 1. Remember what I said. My experience is filled with about 95% of the most horrible times, literally. But irregardless, I still came out as a winner. That is why I'm where I am today, right? And before I open that trade, literally before I open that trade, guys, before I click that buy or sell on the chart, I've already lost. That is the mentality that I have. Before I open that trade, I've opened my heart and I said, God, it's fine, I've lost. Right? Why? It helps me psychologically be stronger for the worst. Someone once said a smart saying as saying that, coach, we're about to trade the last Nasdaq signal and we are praying for the best, but preparing for the worst. That is very powerful. He's simply saying that we understand that we are here to win, but we are also preparing for the worst because we are entering into a very volatile market and anything could come out. Now, the moment you are able to manage and balance those emotions, you will never panic. Even with 1-minute strategy, most of you guys are getting killed by panicking. The moment you start relaxing, and not that I recommend drugs, but you guys should normalize smoking weed. You guys should know. I've never smoked weed, but I've realized that people who smoke weed are much more calmer than anyone else who's sober. So you guys should realize, should start smoking weed, number 1. You guys, before trading, you should have sex. Those things will help you. Number 3, you guys should start normalizing masturbating. It will help you. The pressure, remember now, you are a human at the end of the day, right? Your body has hormones, has veins, has emotions, has whatsoever. Some of these substances contribute a lot, and some of these things could help you reduce unnecessary pressure. Try it, guys, you'll see. Literally try it, guys, you'll see. Find something that works for you. Some it's going to be alcohol. I'm not going to judge because, we're all here to try and make money. But sober, you can't really be okay trying to trade this market that we're in, right? So I support weed smokers a lot. Now we are done with number 6, which is analysis. Analysis entirely, the whole topic of analysis entirely is based on these things. Because most of you guys say that, coach, create a Nasdaq course. It's impossible. How do I create a Nasdaq course out of these 10 things? How do I create a Nasdaq course out of my personal experience, my confidence, my fundamental knowledge, my history with technicals, my risk appetite, my losses, my trading plan, my desperation. Offline, I'll explain what it means. My secrecy, it's impossible. Now moving to number 7, which is trading plan, right? Moving to number 7, which is trading plan. Now, before you start a wave, the reason why I've created waves in Nasdaq is because I want you to understand that this is what we call a mission. It's a project. You come in, you go out. A wave simply means that you come in, you go out. You're not here to stay. This is not your home, right? Therefore, it's very important to have a plan before tackling each and any wave in the Nasdaq group. It's very, very, very important for you to have a plan, guys. It's very, very, very important. Now, some of my trading plans, I've shown you guys countless times. Admin starting with 20 Rand, making 432,000, trading 8 times. Just the recent one, admin starting with 40 Rand, making 1.2 million, trading 7 times. Admin starting with 10,000 Rands, making 965,000, trading 5 times. I'll still come to that part, but it's a plan. The admin had a plan. His plan does not involve how much he's going to make, but his plan involves the consistency. Consistency is to say, hey, I'm only trading 5 times, like what he did on that big account. He said, I'm only trading 5 times. Whatever that I'm making on that 5 times, I'm good. That's the trading plan. Number 2, on the 40 Rands account, admin's plan did not involve CPI. That is a trading plan saying, hey, I'm not trading news on this account. Therefore, I'll stick to my plan. That is why he's separately deposited 5,000 Rands and he lost it. After that, he lost it trading trading the CPI separately, and that entirely did not affect his trading plan at all. It's a plan that he said, hey, I'm going to stick to this plan, and then that's it. And he did stick to his plan, and then that was it, right? I hope that makes sense. So I cannot tell you what kind of plan you need to have. You need to sit down and say, okay, Nasdaq wave has 8 signals and I could get up to 11 should there be a need, right? Now, what is my plan? What is expected of me? What should I do in this regard? What should I do in this case, right? So that is a plan. You sit down and you draft your own plan and say, you know what? I'm going to start with 30 Rands. I'm going to start with 50 Rands. I'm going to start with 100 Rands, whatever the case it may be. And I'll always have backup funding should things not go my way. The admin always has backup funding. That is why his bank account is always loaded all the time, because he knows even if he goes through losses, he can always recover, right? So now if you don't have a plan, it means you're going to take your last 300 Rands and fund. If you lose once, it's over for you. You'll keep on watching other people win. So a trading plan is important. And unfortunately, I cannot help you on that. It's something that you need to decide on your own. Now, number 8, no desperation. Do not trade when your rent is due tomorrow. Do not trade when you need to pay school fees next week. Do not trade because someone in your family is sick and you need money for meds. That's where most of you guys get it wrong. That's where it's gonna knock most of you guys. You guys always trade for the wrong reasons, right? Because once you're desperate for trading, therefore it cancels some of the things, some of the key points I've mentioned. It cancels your confidence. It cancels your risk-taking skill. It cancels everything. It cancels your trading plan. It cancels most things, because now you'll end up being greedy for no reason, because now you want to make a certain amount of money without having to go according to your trading plan. So it's very, very important to trade while you're not under any desperate conditions whatsoever, please. Number 9, offline. By offline, I'm referring to some of us, you guys didn't know about me maybe up until 2018, 19, right? Some of you guys knew me after COVID, whatsoever, it doesn't matter. But I've been alive since 1995. And ideally, I would say I've been offline since 1995 because nobody cared, nobody knew me. 2016, when my whole journey started, I've been offline. I didn't even have Instagram. I only had Instagram in 2019. I didn't even have Instagram. I only had Facebook then there because I was trying to push my music career by then. Back then, I mean, you know, and I see most of your statuses on the FBK WhatsApp, and you guys are so much far away from success. And I'm going to explain why. You guys, you are living a very wealthy lifestyle. Literally, you are living a very wealthy lifestyle. You guys are living for the streets. I mean, how on earth are you able to have an iPhone and not have a bank balance that is equivalent to the cost of an iPhone? You know, how on earth are you able to have the latest Air Force, where else you don't have a bank balance that is equivalent to the value of that Air Force? You guys are living a life here. How on earth are you able to have followers on social media that do not equivalent to the amount of money you have in your bank balance? You guys are living online. You guys are living lifestyle, you know? And some of these things are what we call biblically, they are called the things of the earth. They never pass. You guys want to remain relevant. You guys want to be influencers. You guys want likes. You want comments. You guys want to be relevant on the street. There is no Amapiano dance that you don't know on TikTok. It's like you are the owner of TikTok. It's like you're getting paid to be relevant, you know? You get so worried when you're not next to your phone, but not because you want to make money, but because you want to check what's happening out there, you know? And these are some of the things that I did not have access to. That is why now I can literally do whatever that I want on social media. I can literally say what I want. I can do what I want because I've worked hard enough offline without you guys knowing. And no matter what people say or do, nothing can ever stop me with the kind of knowledge that I have in terms of making money. I hope that was clear. Number 10, secrecy, right? Secrecy simply means that you guys need to stop entirely posting about trading on your WhatsApp statuses or social media whatsoever, you know. I used to behave like a thug or a thief whenever I'm supposed to trade in 2016, because I knew that once your plan is known by more than 2 people, it's no longer a plan. It's whatever it is, it's no longer a plan. And you are vulnerable, you are very sensitive, you know. If a person tomorrow comes to you and say, that coach of yours is fake, you're most likely to believe it quicker than what it takes, you know, because you don't have that confidence built in you. You're not even confident about yourself, you know, literally. So what secrecy does is it cuts everyone out of your own plans and you're able to focus on your plan no matter what. Remember, I'm here because I believed in this. I'm not here because my parents or my friend or someone else believed I'm going to make it. I'm here because I believed and I'm going to make it. And should I opened my mouth before I made it, I wasn't going to make it. My brother only knew that I was trading when I was showing him the 100,000 that I made secretly in 2016. And if I had shown him before, I don't think we would be where we are today, literally, you know. So you guys need to develop that, you know, keep it as private as possible, you know. The less people know you're trading, the better, because you are sensitive. You are literally sensitive. Anything that could discourage you in the trading world, you're most likely to take it in. You're not strong. You're not confident. You don't have all these other points that I've mentioned here. So I hope that makes sense. So now moving on to the next topic, there is what we call, there's 3 elements of Nasdaq, right? 3 elements of Nasdaq. That is NAS week, NAS floor, NAS peak, right? It's gonna require me to switch to maybe a bigger time frame. A month is not showing me what I need to see. Okay, let me try it this way. Where's that thing? Let me try D1. Okay, yeah, let me try D1 actually. So, oh no, D1, where's D1? Yeah, no, actually week 1, yeah. Let me draw the lines. Just above, just below, just in the middle. Now, the first line, the one that's above is NAS peak. It means that it's the highest, literally, that you could see since maybe going back to 2022. And there's the one up at the bottom is NAS week, which is the lowest Nasdaq has been at, you know. And the one in the middle, literally, is NAS floor, which is the current situation Nasdaq is at. So now, I personally have seen the NAS peak, NAS floor, NAS week. And the moment I open the chart and do a personal analysis, just me analyzing where could Nasdaq go in the next 15 minutes, in the next hour, the next day, it is the easiest thing to do because I've seen it go at its lowest. I've seen it go at its highest. I've seen it at the middle. You understand? Now, that is why it goes back to the 10 points that I've mentioned. It's easier for me to know that, okay, sharp, Nasdaq will be retracing from here. Why? Because I've seen it at its highest. I've seen it at the middle. I've seen it at, you know, and these are some of the things that are not for sale. You cannot buy these things. Literally, you cannot buy these things. You see? So it's impossible. So what I'm saying to you is, you are trading Nasdaq now, 26 April 2023. This information will come in handy for you next year, not this year. Where you have seen Nasdaq at 12,870 and you're going to see Nasdaq at 1540. You have seen Nasdaq at 10,700. You'll thank me later. That's information that will come in handy in the future, just not now, right? Now, I'll be moving to the last topic, which is risk management, how I apply my risk management myself and my team, right? It goes back to what I've mentioned before with the account types. Remember, we have standard, we have micro, we have bonus, we have zero spread, right? So now, what's happening now is I want to trade Nasdaq. Let me close the trade. My balance is 270 Rand. I want to trade Nasdaq. And before I can trade Nasdaq, I need to find out how much is 0.01 worth. I think it's not going to allow me to open a trade because the market has closed. I think the market is on a break. Remember, the market, Nasdaq goes on a break on FBK markets at 10 p.m. up until 12, I think. So it don't allow me to go into a trade whatsoever, but I can be able to close an existing one, but I can't open any new orders. So it's going to be quite challenging to do this example if I'm unable to open new orders, but I'll just verbally try to explain everything as much as I can, right? So first things first is I open an order with 0.01. That is how you apply risk management. Let me just write it down. Each and every person needs to develop their own strategy for risk management that works for them. You cannot copy what I do. You need to find what works for you, right? First step is you open an order with 0.01 lots, and then see how much is 0.01 lots against 30 points. You're practically seeing. Now you will find out that, 0.01 on 30 points. Therefore, it means that I'm going to be on a loss of 3 rands. This is on a micro account. This is how you get to study and apply risk management. Now, the second example, 0.01, 30 points, not pips. Sorry, it's actually points. Even here, 30 points. Yeah, you will find out that, keep in mind, guys, this is just an example. Actual facts might be different. On 0.01, 30 points is equals to 600 rands on a standard account. Either a standard account, zero spread, bonus, they are more or less the same because they are linked to 100,000 units. Standard accounts are all the same. So now you have your answers for everything now. Now you know that, okay, sharp. The Nasdaq signals the default TP that coach uses for himself is 30 points. Therefore, if I want to now develop my own TP, let's say I go for 40 points, that simply means that on a micro account, 0.01, I'm going to make about 350 per 30 points. Now, what happens when the market moves 90 points? On the same examples, either with or against me, it doesn't matter. The market moves 90 points. Therefore, I am looking at 9 rands profit on a micro account. And the same thing, the market moves 90 points. Therefore, I'm going to make 600 times 3, which is 1.8. 1,800 on a standard account, right? So you have your answers. There is nothing further that you need. Literally, you have all your answers. Now you know you have all your answers. Now you know that, 0.01 on a micro account, 30 points is worth 3 rands. This simply means, in simple terms, this simply means that if a trade on 0.01 goes against you for about 90 points, you are going to lose 9 rands on a micro account. Same goes to, you are going to make 9 rands if all goes well. So using common sense, just know that a Nasdaq signal, by nature, when we say we are giving out a Nasdaq signal, according to what we have seen with our history, is that it can move about 45. Actually, let me do this. Let me draw it like this. And then eraser. Sorry. It can move about 45 to 60 points on rejection, right? It can move about 45 to 60 points on rejection. So when you're opening a trade on Nasdaq and you don't leave a room for the possibility of the market triggering your order if it's a pending order, or the market going against you for about 45 to 60 points if you have used market instant execution. If you do not put this in consideration, that's where it kills you the most. Now, if, for example, you have 20 rand in your account, ideally, if it was me, if I have 20 rand, knowing that each 30 points, I'm looking at 3 rand. Therefore, I would, in this case, go for 0.02, knowing very well that each 30 points, I'll be on 6 rand. If it moves against me for 60 points, I'll be on 12 rand. If it moves against me for 90 points, I'll be on 18 rand loss. Same goes to making profit. Now, that is how the admin, I want you to go and watch the videos of the admin. Something very simple, yet still you guys are not paying attention to. Oh, sorry, guys, it's 0.01, not 0.1, because you guys are going to confuse it with 0.10. All these examples I'm referring to 0.01, right? So now what's going to happen is when the admin opens a trade, look at the first order. The first order or the first orders. Number one, admin never uses a big lot size. This is not news. On news, you can use one big lot size whatsoever for 1 minute or whatsoever. It doesn't matter. But on this particular signal, I want you guys to study the movement of the admin's results. Admin uses a certain signal, a certain lot size technique. Now, let me erase everything so that I can make that example clear to you guys. Let me just rub this off. Now, admin has 40 rands in his account, right? Plus credit of 80 rands. Therefore, the equity is 120 rands. It's simple maths. The account is not a drawdown. If it goes against him for 40 rand, it is blown. One thing that you need to consider, number one. Therefore, the equity doesn't matter anymore. Therefore, admin needs to go with what? With the 40 rand. Now, admin identifies that, you know what? Each 0.01 lot size that I open is worth 3 rand per 30 points. This is just an example, keep in mind. When you are trading it in reality, it might slightly be different. I just want you guys to consider that, right? Now it's like that. So admin knows that, you know what? My risk appetite says I'm willing that I give the market permission to blow me if it goes 45 points against me. Already, admin wants to use lot size 0.8 total. But he can't go with 0.8 immediately all at once, because if he does, the spread is going to knock him as well. We need to consider the spread. So what he does is he starts with 0.1 times 2 on a specific market price. The second order is also going to be similar, which is 0.01, I always forget, times 2 again at a specific price. Just probably plus or minus 10 points. Study those videos, you'll see the difference between the current order and the next is about 10 points, estimation, plus or minus. Therefore, the third order, if it's a sell whatsoever, 0.01 times 2 as well. The fourth order, 0.01 times 2. When I say 0.01 times 2, I'm referring to 2 times 0.01 lot size, which is equivalent to 0.02, right? So when you add all this, it's a total of 0.08. But he has done it so smartly, having these orders open when the market is moving with him. Why? Because we need to consider the 45 to 60 points rejection before the market could go in your favor when it comes to trading Nasdaq. So if you don't put or create a room for that situation, therefore you are as good as dead before trading the signal. You are literally not going anywhere. You are as good as dead, trust me, before you even trade the signal, right? So I hope precisely, I hope that makes sense. Ne? Sharp. So now admin knows that from the moment the last order triggers, therefore I need to prepare for exit. Why? Because now my account, the margin is no longer enough. I'm almost on 150% and above risk. So I cannot afford for the market to reject. That is why his last order in most cases does not have much profit. So all the orders coming in between in his favor, their insurances. Go have a look at those videos. You'll study that the prices are not the same. Literally, the prices are not the same. And then sometimes, obviously, because each and every person has greediness in them, he just lets it, move, hoping for the best. It does not mean that he has everything calculated all the time. So when you are going to be copying what he's doing, also keep in mind that it's a dog-eat-dog world. It's a dog-eat-dog world. And most importantly, if now the trades want to run against him, he has the potential to fund. He can fund with the same amount just to keep the trades going on, because sometimes a rejection can go further than what we anticipate it to be. You understand? Ideally, I wouldn't say you guys should do what the admin is doing, because the level of experience that you guys have is not the same. The last example that I'm going to give you guys. Let me just wrap this off. The last example that I'm going to give you guys, text. I don't know if it will allow me to increase the size, but yeah, I think it's fine like this. The last example that I'm going to give you guys of, whatever the case it may be, signal 1. £40 deposit, right? To 345 rand profit, I would say. Signal 2. CPI, skip. His trading plan does not involve news. Signal 3. 345 to 1,400. Signal 4. Remember, you can zoom in and zoom out on my screen if you're unable to see properly. Signal 4. 1,400 to 5.7. Signal 5. 5.7 to 22,000. Signal 6. 22,000 to 106,000. Signal 7. 106,000 to 475,000. Signal 8. 475,000 to 1.2 million. Now, ideally, if you guys were not in the fourth wave, you were just strangers. This looks like one hell of a big scam, and it's impossible to do this, because when you present it to an outsider, it's going to be from 40 rand to 1.2 million. But let us go back to now considering facts. The account equity was not based on 40 rands. It was based on 120 rands in reality. Now, 120 rands potentially increased his appetite for lot size, right? It allowed him to use a much more bigger lot size than he would potentially use with 40 rands. That is number one that we need to consider. Number one, right? Now, group number two. In reality, signal one. If I were you guys, signal one, I deposit 100 rand, and applying risk management, considering all the factors, literally, I would make only another 100 rand, and I would be on 200. Signal two. This is what I would do if I were you guys. Signal two, I would take 200. Signal two potentially signal three, because we are skipping CPI on this example. News are not a part of this. I would ideally take it to 400. Why? Because doubling an account on Nasdaq is much more easier than making 5 times the value of the amount. Because making 5 times the value of the amount simply means that your risk appetite needs to be super higher than what it should be. And once it's super higher than what it should be, then the risk is way too much, you know, compared to before, right? Signal 3. 400 to 800. Right? Now, on signal 3, already I've recovered the amount of money that I used to join the signal service with. Right? I've recovered it. Number 2, I've also recovered my initial deposit. Now I make a choice. Do I withdraw at least 600 rands or what? I make a decision that I'm going to process a withdrawal of 600 rands. Now my new balance will be 200, right? Now I'm done with the first 3 signals. Now I'm going extreme now. Now I'm increasing my risk appetite, meaning that I'm not going to have one order at a time. I'm going to have multiple orders. I'm going to risk now. Why? Because my money is back. The money that I funded to deposit with is back. The money that I used to join the service with is back. I still have 5 signals left. I have 200 rand. Signal 4. Now 200 rands to 600 rands. Signal 5. 600 rands to 1.8. My screen is running out now. Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, let me just do it on the side. I hope you guys are able to see it. Yo, how do I edit? Jesus. Oh, yeah. Okay. I don't want to mix the numbers. Yeah. Let me just move this one this side and then give this one its own space as well. Perfect. Signal 6. 1,800 to how much? 1.8 times 3. 3.6, 4,000, 5.4. Signal 7. Now, keep in mind, all these examples are provided there are no losses. But if there are losses, obviously this is not achievable. All these examples are based on what the admin has done. I'm just showing you what I could have done with the less experience that I have. 5,400 times 3. It's going to be 16,200. Now, all these examples, they're based on 200% profit, not 300%. Oh, no, sorry. This all these examples are based on 300% profit, by the way. Sorry, I wanted to say that. Now, this is signal number 7. On this example, we are done. So literally, you still have 600 rand in your bank that you have withdrawn, and you are sitting on 16,200 rand profit. Now, this 16,200 rand does not involve or include the balance that you have carried over. When we include the balance that you have carried over, it's going to be plus 100 rand here. It will be 300. Actually, no, it's fine. It's fine. If I add the balances, it will just change the whole example. Let's just cap it like this. Let's just cap it at 200% returns, including the deposit amount. So either way, you are still looking at about 16,800 total. Then is the end of the wave. Literally, I want you to study the structure and the angle of risking. Literally. And remember now, it's impossible for me to include the lot sizes because the account types are not the same. But if you refer back to the first example that I've given you guys, when it comes to lot sizes, yeah, there's no 8 signal because I'm giving an example based on this service, which included CPI. I'm not including CPI on this one. So giving an example on this one, just to refer back to how I've calculated the first example of lot sizes and then try to find your own method. Remember, guys, I'm dealing with masses. I cannot find a solution for you specifically. I find solution for masses. One or the other, you guys gotta meet me halfway and go an extra mile into solving whatever that you need to solve on your own, right? I hope that makes sense, right? Otherwise, thank you so much. So now what we are going to be doing on this next session is, do we have people on this session who made profit with the 4th wave? When I say profit, I simply mean that people who were able to deposit a certain amount of money and they were able to withdraw, and that money is currently in their bank account as we speak, irregardless of whether they've spent it on personal things or not. Reason being why I'm asking this is I would like to have a few of you guys speak about that you have deposited how much and you have made how much on a personal capacity so that people can relate to what the admin have done and has done, and people can also relate to the example that I've given them, right? And then let us see in reality where people went right or lost it, right? It's also important. And if you have won, we also need to understand and know what were the tactics that you have used in order for you to win. And if you have lost, what do you think went wrong, irregardless of the situation that might have transpired, right? So now I'm going to allow you guys, let me just go back to the default mode. Yeah, let me just go back to the default mode. Now, I'll be allowing you guys to speak. I'm just looking for the settings here. Okay, participants. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, so we can give one another a chance. And yeah, so now we have part 2, Tony, on the line.
Hello.
Tony,
Yeah, sure.
how are you?
I'm Trent.
Hi, Chapman. Please shortly share your experiences with others. What happened?
Oh, yeah. The thing is, at first, I deposited like 100 and then it got chowed.
Okay.
But I didn't give up.
Yeah.
I deposited another 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
And then I made 1,000.
Okay. Okay.
So it's 2K.
All right, it's 2,000. So basically, you have made 1,000 profit in short.
Yeah.
Okay. That is great. That is beautiful. Thank you so much, Tony. Let us hear the next one. The next one, and Tabi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Good.
Yeah. What happened
with me? I have a few challenges.
Okay.
I would deposit probably a 500 rand. And what I'm struggling with is the internet when it's time to place an order or to
yeah.
Yes.
Load shedding.
Not necessarily load shedding. I think when the market is too busy, it gets hectic to a point that my screen would just jam. Or rather, sometimes I'd find that the lot size that I've put does not allow me to actually use it at that time.
Let's sort out that now. Which account type is it?
It's a micro.
What's the leverage?
1:1,000.
And then what is the lot size that doesn't allow you to go through?
Okay, so for example, if I have at least 500 rand, no, not 500 rand. Yes, 500 rands. And I'm on US Tech. And I would put a barracking where you buy stop, ne?
Yeah, correct.
Yes, I would normally throw in 0:50.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. So, or sometimes, you are panicking, you're not thinking straight about the lot size that you need to put in. So it gets hectic, and then you end up putting the wrong lot, and your orders are going to be rejected, your pending orders.
And ideally, if they've triggered, it means you could have or should have made profit, ideally.
Pardon?
I'm saying you set your orders and they get deleted, of which if you have used the right lot size, they could have went through and you could have made profit.
True. Yes.
And
so I'd struggle with that, putting the correct lot
Yeah.
or sometimes my network would just freeze. But the times that I managed to go through, it was when I executed the market like directly without putting a buy stop or a sell stop. Yes.
Have you
So that's
made
when I
profit?
normally get it right.
Have you made profit on that? Doing that?
Yes, I did. I made about 2,000 on top of that 500.
Okay, that's it's not bad. I mean, it's a good start.
No, it's
a
not
good
bad.
start.
It's a good start.
Yeah.
And after that, because of greediness, I went back and lost
Beyond
on
the signal now.
beyond the signal on my own. So staying away from the market when we are not trading the signals that are given, it can mess you up.
Yeah. No, I believe you have learned a thing or two, and definitely you're going to improve for the next time.
Yeah, patience and discipline. But yeah, otherwise, we are learning as we go.
All right. Thank you
Thank you.
so much for your time in Tabi.
Sure.
Yeah, I believe we're gotten experiences. Chamilo on the line.
Yes, can you hear me?
How are you? I'm okay, my brother. How are you?
I'm also doing fine.
Which country are you from again?
Mozambique, Maputo.
Mozambique. All right. Speak to us. What are your experiences? What happened to your life?
Well, mostly I trade news, but I saw that there weren't so many newses to trade. And I also saw that the last wave was good. So I said, let me just give it a try on the fourth wave.
Oh, so you haven't really traded the fourth wave signals with us from the beginning precisely.
I did.
Okay, what happened to that?
Well, I practiced the lot sizes a bit on a demo. Then I could see which was the stop out level that I could afford. After that,
yeah.
yes, because I knew that the broker's stop out was 30%, so I could look up to 70%.
Yeah,
Then
correct. Before it kicks you out, yes.
Yes. Then I did the plan and everything. From $80, I was able to take it to almost 200.
From $30 to $200.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean that's a good start. Actually, it's a good start. Yeah, definitely.
I wasn't holding a lot. I was seeing the day they were doing was probably pushing it a lot. But you know what? Since it was the first month, I just wanted to take it
because
normal.
ideally $30 is equivalent to 500 rand in South African rand. So you've taken 500 to precisely 3,500 to 4,000, which is good. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. No, thank you so much. Please mute the mic for us. Amaka King.
Hi,
Coach. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm okay. What happened to you on this wave?
Okay, so my story is actually quite similar to, I think, Ntabi.
Yes. So it's a women thing. Women go through the same stories.
Oh my God. Something like that. So what happened was that I started with you on the third wave.
Oh, okay.
And so when I got excited, I think I started with 200 and I got up to, I think, 1.9.
200
and
rand.
Then, yes.
To 1.9, okay.
Yes, and then I got excited and I tried trading on my own. And I lost everything and it was so painful. So, but you know what? I've made up my mind that this is it for me. Forex is it. So, I deposited another I resubscribed for the 4th wave and made another deposit of 500 Rand.
Okay.
And I was trading on a small lot size of I started with 0.5
on a micro.
Yes, on a micro account. And then but on the CPI, it knocked me out down to down to 100 and something. I think it was about 140 Rand left in my account. So I was very frustrated, but I just kept trading, and I built back. Okay, what I did, right? I sent a message to admin Vincent because I was very intrigued by what he did.
Okay.
So I asked him, can he explain to me how he enters and exits trade? Because that has been my challenge, entering, like knowing when to, like that timing he does, when he knows exactly when to get in and when to get out, right?
Yeah.
So he explained to me that once, which is what you've also explained now, once it starts moving in his direction, then he enters higher lot sizes, which is what I did.
Okay, yeah.
So on this wave, I closed with 1.2 from 100 and something Rand that I was almost on a loss.
Yeah, the
Yes,
recovery.
okay. Yes.
I mean, yeah, that's a beautiful love story, actually. I mean, because you have almost given up, but you are like, you know what, let me just try and come back, and it's beautiful to show that you also understand where you went wrong, because that's gonna help you improve the next time as well. Yeah, all right. No, thank you so much, my dear, for your time as well.
Coach?
Yes, my brother.
Yeah, Tato here.
All right, yes, I'm listening.
Yeah,
we are listening.
Yeah. Yeah. My story goes like, I'm trading both news and Nasdaq.
Okay, on the same account or separate?
On the same account.
Okay.
So, but in a nutshell, this is what I do. It's similar to what you've explained. I was trading with another broker before I joined FBK.
Yeah.
So normally I deposit.
Yeah, sorry, my brother. Sorry. Continue.
Yeah. In April, I deposited 2,000 after I made a withdrawal from the
third wave.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So I put in 2,000 rands, and by the 8th signal, my account was on 23,000 rands. So
yeah.
And I don't hold that long.
Yeah, as well. What is your average points that you target? Someone could learn from that.
I'm still new to this calculating of points. I'm looking at the money, coach. The points don't really
Okay, the points come after.
Yes, I'm looking at the amount to say, okay, I think for me, this will grow my account so that the next trade, I open a bigger lot size.
Oh, yes. So basically, if you deposit 2,000 and you make 3.5, you close so that you can go to 5.5.
Yes, and it also builds my confidence to say, no, the signals are working because we are not losing. But in a nutshell, I joined you a long time ago, but I never traded. But this year, from February up until end of the third wave, in total, trading the news mostly and Nasdaq from a deposit of 1,000 rand, I've already withdrawn 44,000 from trading.
Yeah, no, I hope I can see LGK and Simone Hlakanipo, they're paying full attention. They're listening. And this is very, very inspirational, my brother. Thank you for sharing with us.
All right. Thanks, coach.
Yeah. And tell me, when you have lost before, how did it make you feel? Because I think others are still going through that stage.
Okay.
And how did you overcome that as well? Just on a personal experience.
I've made a decision, like the amount of money that I'm depositing. Normally, my account, I start depositing 1,000 rand. And
okay,
I've got, let's say maybe I've got 5,000 rand to trade with. I deposit 1,000 rand. So if I lose it, the very same day, I deposit back another 1,000 rand. So that means I'm left with 3,000 in my bank account.
Oh, makes sense. You split your deposit so that if you lose, you happen to come back again.
Yes, exactly.
Makes sense.
So the emotions are already removed because I've put aside 5,000 rand to trade with. But at that per trade, I'm able to lose 1,000 rand.
Makes sense. You are willing to lose that amount that you've deposited.
Yes.
Makes sense. Thank you so much, Bratato.
And it's all from a micro account, not standard account.
Not standard. Guys, are you listening? From 2,000 to 23,000, all from micro. From 1,000 to 45,000 withdrawn to the bank, all from micro as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. So thank you so much, my brother, for sharing that with us.
All right, sharp.
Thank you. Who do I have next on the line?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Okay, so I have been with FBK for a while now, but then I only started being consistent this year. So I joined the third wave, and initially I kept making that mistake of putting like 500 in a standard account, and then I realized, I was looking at admin's videos and everyone's screenshots, and I'm seeing so many people with a small deposit on a micro account, if they're making triple their deposit. So then I decided from then on that I was going to do exactly what admin was doing. So I started analyzing his videos, and I saw that even the screenshots, I saw everyone wasn't making like one main lot size, like executing only one main one. It was like at different perps, they're like 0.10 here, 0.10 there. So that's what I started doing. And then that thing of being impatient, and like you were saying earlier on, like when you're in profit, all of a sudden you want to close. So that's something that I had to learn by myself, you see, being comfortable with seeing the red, being comfortable, and also not to be so emotional about it. Like the previous guy was saying, that look, if I'm willing to make such an amount of money, I have to be able to bear the risks, you see. So if I do lose that money, same day, I have a backup and I'm gonna try again. And so I would see it more of as like a learning lesson. So stay in wave 3, I took 40 rand to about 2.4, and then in wave 4, I took the 2.4.
You took what? Wait, come again. You took what?
So I took the 40 rand to about 2.4, and then in wave 3, and then in wave 4, I took that 2.4 to about 6.2.
Jesus.
Yeah. So I I don't know when it was. It was what taught me my lesson the most was, I think there was one signal that was sent where it was so volatile that a lot of people, like, I think on the whole, a lot of people are making losses. That's when I realized that my risk management was very important. So
yes.
you see, so then once I, like, for example, I would use a profit. So I would see it as a ratio. So 1:3. If I deposit 300, and I will be okay with making a profit of 900 and not being too ambitious and being reckless. You see, you want to hold and make money. So I would be happy with my profit and then move on like that. Just like you were showing in your diagram earlier on. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, this is for me as well. It's very inspirational from 40 rand to 2.4, 2.4 to 6,000 rand. I mean, it's not even about the amount of money you're making, but the consistency in doing that. And also understanding that each signal is different and there are possible losses. And if they occur, you need to be able to come back again. That is very smart. No, thank you so much, my dear. And I hope people have heard your story. Thank you so much. Who do I have on the line?
Hi, Coach.
Hi, Lebo. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm okay. What's going on with women nowadays? I think we have more women trading. You guys are tired of blessers now, ne? That is very good. Yeah, please proceed.
So I invested $50. That's what I deposited into my account. And I only joined in wave 4.
Okay.
So I took that from the $50 and made about $2,500 from it. and
Yeah.
I still had one loss, which was the CPI. I think.
Yeah.
I had that
definitely.
loss. I only lost about $30 from that because I saw at the beginning of it that it's not really a good trade.
It's not
So I got
really-
off.
Yes. Okay,
Yes.
that was smart. So
what
you took 2,000. I mean, you took $50 to 2,000.
2,500.
I'm speaking to you while trying to Google the exchange rate so that
Okay.
we can all be on the same page. So you took 900 rands plus or minus estimation to 46,000 rands.
Yes, I'm in the US, so I just stick to dollars.
You are from SA.
Yes, I'm from South Africa.
Our connecting while Rishia. You know, you have been outside. No, Lebo, you must come back and take me. I don't belong here, by the way. I'm just here because I don't have a choice. Please come take me too.
I will come.
Thank you so
Later
much.
in the year, I'm coming home.
Yeah,
to
okay,
visit.
proceed.
Okay, so what I basically do is I get into a trade on a 0.01 because I'm on a standard account. It's
Yes.
0.01. I'm on 1:1,000. So I get on a 0.01. My first pending order is 0.01. And I just leave it at that. When it triggers, I wait for it. I just wait for I just look for a retest, or if it goes back a little bit. I know that it goes back maybe, as you said, 30 to 40 points. I have another entry right there. I enter right there in the same direction that we are getting into. And then I wait and I wait. And then when it's between, like in the middle, between where my second entry and my first entry, I enter another trade, which is now 3 at this point. So from my first one, I took the $50 to about 350. That was my first trade. And then on day 1, signal 1, and signal 2, I think I went to about 600. And I was driving, so I didn't want to stay long in the trade. I just got on and off. I think it was about 7. It moved for me. I moved, I think, about 17 points because I wrote it down how many points in each trade I have, but I don't have the book with me. But I think it was just about 17 points, but I made about I took the 350 to 600. So I made 150 from that, about 17 points from the trades that I took. And then I continued like that up until it was like 2,500 and some odd. So I withdrew about 2,200.
Amen.
And I'm still trying to learn as to see for myself. So as everyone was saying, I also tried to study the videos that you put up for the admin, and just to see how he does it, because he's like done wonderful things. with his account, you know.
Definitely.
So I just try and look and see what he does. So even yesterday I was going through them, and today there's new ones. So I'm gonna try and learn those ones. Because yesterday I actually, because my account was like 100 and something, but today I got into a trade on my own just to see if I can do something, and my account now is on 300. So I did make something.
Amen. Amen to that. No, level, we are listening, we are following, and we are proud as a nation. Thank you so much for your wonderful story. Thank you so much. I know, guys, gents, you can see women are coming in power now. I mean, from 900 to 46,000. Who's on the line?
Hi, coach.
Hello, coach.
Yes, my brother. How's it? Is it Prophet?
Yes, how are you, sir?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good, sir. Myself, coach, I would like to thank you for the opportunity that you gave me. You know, I came in as a student around December last year.
Okay. Coming through FBK online services, I guess.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yes. All right.
So there is something that I learned there when I joined the issue of minus 10 points and plus 10 points.
Okay.
So from that, coach, I've managed to be trading using that strategy on my own. And I've made a lot of money. Actually, in a day, I can take an account of 1,000 rands to a close of 31,000 rands in a day.
In a day. So you are a prophet on the market as well?
Yes.
Yeah, that is great.
Yeah, so this is what I've learned from you, and I'm really grateful when it comes to the issue of that plus 10 and minus 10 strategy from the students. Then when it comes to the signals, I think I had a problem when it comes to the issues of account type. You know, I would open a very big lot size in the beginning. Then on that rejection, I'm dead already. So, but today, thank you so much for what you have shown us to say, no, these accounts, they differ. There is a standard, there is this and that, and the behavior they do is something that is totally like they differ. Their behavior is different. And looking at how the admin has been doing it, I could see that in the beginning, it started with 10, 0.10, 2, then 0.1 lot size. Then second, you went to 20, from 20, you went to 50, just like that. So those are the things that I think when we are going to the month of May, sir, millions are coming, I promise you.
Definitely. Amen to that. Thank you so much, my brother.
Thank you, sir.
Who's on the line? Yes, my brother.
Morning on the line. How are you? Are you good today?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm very good also.
So which one is you on the picture? Because I see two guys who look like they were just doing armed robbery now. I'm kidding.
The first one, the one with the blonde hair.
All right. Thank you, my brother. You can proceed.
Okay, thank you. So what is happening is that it's good here.
My brother, are you still on the line?
Yes, I'm still on the line, sir.
Oh, yeah. Yes, continue.
Yeah, as I was saying, it's good hearing everyone speaking about how they made money through FBK.
Yes.
Well, fortunately, I have a sad story. I guess I'm one of the greedy ones. You always mention the greedy ones.
No, your story is the most important. Trust me. The story of losses is the greatest because that's what's going to transform all of us into winners and also prepare the current winners to be open when it comes to losses as well.
Yeah, as I was saying, I'm one of the greedy ones. You always mention this, say the greedy one is still in the market. And yes, I'm still on the market holding, hoping something will come up. But then I end up having to close on a red. It's not a good thing because I've been with FBK since, I think it's since 2021 or 2022, I'm not sure. Somewhere that before the FBK was launched, I was maybe one of the 30,000 clients on the list. I don't know. But I've only made money on the fourth wave. Since then, I've never made profits. I only made profits on the fourth wave. And that's only because on the fourth wave, I've decided to only double my account. I've only decided to try only double my account, not expecting more than that. Just only try to double my account. I enter with what I'm willing to lose. And as soon as I see my account double, I exit my trade. That's only how I made my trade. But more of the time, I lost about 11,000 in total. Yeah, in total with FBK. And this year, in this wave, I made about 4,800 in total from deposit of 300 in each signal.
You are working on recovery.
Yeah, I'm trying my best. I'm hoping that on the fifth one, things will be as much good as the fourth wave, so we can make much more.
Yeah, so your recovery plan after losing the 11,000 was you took 300 rands to 4.8,
but it's not much, as everyone mentioned.
Yeah, that is beautiful. It's a good recovery story, my brother. I mean, what is life without losses? It's all about picking up the pieces and trying next up. And I really hope fifth wave has to be the best. So
yes,
yeah, let us keep on hustling. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Sure, coach.
Sure, my brother, how's it?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay.
I'm good. Yeah, also learned a lot from my losses. To be honest, what happened was the signals were on point. I made money, but same as everybody else or so many people, I went back into the market and gave the market its money back. However, there was a lot of lessons. Coach, actually, a long story short, I'm learning a lot from these sessions that we're having today. I know we can't always do it because a lot of people also off-ramp if they're not well monitored. But I think hearing testimonials from other people does so much, and it shows other people that you're not alone. This journey can be a bit lonely, but when you hear other people discussing this, it just gives you so much motivation to carry on and to see that things can be better. So I humbly request that we have more of these sessions, even though they are more manageable and there's oversight on them. Thank you.
Yeah. No, thank you so much, my brother, for that. Definitely.
Hello, coach.
How's it, my brother?
I'm good, and you?
I'm okay. You are using an iPad?
Yes, I'm using my phone to hotspot my iPad. That's
why. Okay, no problem.
Yes.
What happened to you? What happened to you?
By the way, I'm 17 years old, right?
So you're underage. All right, talk to us.
So I've been an FBK student for I think the past 3 years. 3-4
Wait,
years.
you joined FBK when you were how old?
I was probably young. I was probably like 16, 15, something like that.
I went out to police. So how were you able to open a trading account?
I used my mom's details.
Is she aware of it?
Yeah, she's aware of it. Actually.
All right, yeah. Having a parent consent, it's not illegal. It's very much approved. So yeah, proceed with your story, my brother.
So at first, by the way, I trade news. I always trade news, so I don't trade Nasdaq. So I'm a profitable trader with news and stuff like that. So I barely trade Nasdaq and stuff. So when the fourth wave started, I deposited 40 Rand, right? So I wanted to move a small account to a big account. So then when I deposit 40 Rand, I opened a big lot size. I think it was 0.35. Then I blew that quick. Then, okay, I came back again. I funded with 200 Rand. I wanted to grow a small account. But I had another big account that I had. So then I wanted to grow my small account. It had 200 Rand. Then I never took any losses, by the way. So I took 200 to 5.7. So then I withdrew half. It's in my account right now. The half is still in my micro account. So at first, I was blowing account before. This is my first actually wave I've joined. Before I've been using accounts, other accounts, but this month I saw that micro accounts actually help. So this is actually my first time using a micro account. I was like, wow, micro account is actually good.
Definitely, it's very good. That's
yes.
true. Yeah, no, thank you so much, my brother, for your story. It's very inspirational. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Coach. How are you?
Hi, I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I've been using FBK for a while now, but I only joined the 4th wave.
Okay.
Yeah, so I joined the 4th wave using 250 rands. And then I made about 400 rands.
Okay.
Problem with me is that my risk appetite doesn't allow me to hold. I just cannot hold. So after that 400 rands, I withdrew it. And then I deposited 1,000 rands. And then from that 1,000 rand, I made 3,313 rands.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah, so what I've learned from this is that I should just be able to hold enough and not withdraw the money that I make so that maybe I can make more profits.
No, actually, you're doing great that way. Trust me.
Really?
You are doing. We've had my brother Desmond CB, I think. He did mention that he made money and he went back again, So you don't wanna now deposit 1,000, make 3,000, and now you end up losing everything all over again. So it's actually a smart move. And what you're doing is exactly what I did, but on a different era. So what I did in 2016 from October till December was that I was making a withdrawal after each and every trade. 1,000 to 6,000. It's the time news were really crazy. Yeah, and I withdraw. And I go back with 1,000 again. Up until I get to 20, then I can increase my deposit appetite to maybe 4,000 per trade. Then I know per 4,000, I make 10 grand, 15, 20, I withdraw. That is how I ended up having to have 100,000 by the end of December 2016. So don't stop. It's a very, it's exact. You are on the right path, because now if you say each person's story is different. We've had Lebo, who's currently in the States. Lord knows, maybe because Nasdaq is in the US, maybe they are telling her inside information. You can't compare yourself to her and say you want to take 900 to 46,000. Right there on your path, finding your path is the most important aspect of the journey, right? And using other people's information to polish what you've already done. So you just need to polish what you've already seen it that you can't hold on for too long. Therefore, you know that, what, I deposit 3,000, I make 6,000, I'm fine.
Yeah, I just have to have my aim. With whatever profit that I get, I'm happy with it.
Simple. You withdraw it back to your bank. That's the most important part.
But my aim for the 5th wave was that I want to do it like the admin, the pressure is getting worse.
Let me tell you the problem with admin. And that is where you guys are going to lose it the most. Keep in mind that admin has my direct access. That is the key word. My direct access simply means that if he loses, I'm here. When he makes profit, I'm here. Now, when you're doing it, you're all alone. Like literally, you're all alone, and it's not necessarily going to be the same. On the first wave, January, it was horrible. January wave was horrible, that he lost most of the funds that he had made from December wave, right? So having me, I've assisted him. I've deposited funds in his trading account. I've given him money to fund, and he recovered, and he was able to pay me back my money. You see? So now you can see that no matter what happens, like for example, currently he has about 500,000 on the micro account. He has 900,000 on the standard account. He has about 700,000 on one of his bank accounts. He has 400,000 on another bank account. You see, so he has over 1.2 million in cash, and he has over 1.3 million on his trading account. And even if the worst had to happen, I'm still here for him financially. You understand what I mean? So also when you want to be like admin, also consider the little factors that, okay, sharp. If the worst happens, who's gonna tap my shoulder and say, tomorrow is gonna be better?
I got you.
Yeah, but also you cannot necessarily do exactly, but you can do similar. It's possible.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
what I was planning for the fifth wave, I was planning that I'll open 2 accounts, ne? The other one I'll just put 150 rands, and then the other one will be 1,000 rands, and then the one with 150, I'll not withdraw the cash that I will make. And then with
yes. Oh, yeah, you are right, because on admin's fourth wave journey, he actually thought he was going to make money on the big account, and he actually made more money on the small account than the big one. So, I mean, you could start with that, because on the small account, the emotions are more balanced than when you have a large deposit. So you just go with that thing. I just deposited 150, it's fine. You understand? So the more you are relaxed, it's the more you are able to control your emotions and make better decisions compared to when you have deposited money that is due for food or rent whatsoever the next day. So I think your plan of having 2 accounts could come in handy, definitely. Are you still on the line, Tubelihle? I think we lost her. But yeah, I think her story was very much visible. We are proud. Who's next on the line?
Yes, Coach Sandy.
Oh, Mr. Sandile, welcome. Speak to us.
Yes, Coach. Hey, I've been an old student for FBK. But I wasn't like so focused in trading like up until this year. So I decided like, okay, let me just give it a try. This for the fourth wave. I joined the fourth wave with an hope that I will make at least half of the money that I was willing to deposit.
Oh, yes.
I deposited like 1.2. I think it was on the 10th of April.
Yeah.
I had an accident whereby someone stole my phone. And I couldn't have the WhatsApp and all that. Only time where I recover the phone and WhatsApp and all that, it's when you were trading your last trade in after the last signal.
Oh, the last one. Shit.
Yeah, the last one. So I even missed that one too.
So you did not trade at all?
I did not trade at all. So I was like, hey, I spoke to Vincent, but he said no, as he can't do nothing as much.
Let's make it like this, ne?
Yeah.
Send me a WhatsApp after the meeting, and I will put you in the 5th wave for free. Ne? If you have already paid for the 5th wave, I'll refund you. But I'm gonna need confirmation that I'm speaking to you through identity document. You can hide your ID, it's fine. Just to confirm I'm speaking to you, and then let us see how it goes for you. Because I mean, what happened to you was very much unfortunate, and yeah, sorry you had to go through that.
No problem. I'm really glad about that opportunity, because I was planning to join the fifth wave on Friday, but I'll send
no,
you
don't
my
worry.
details.
Use that money to fund, preferably micro account, and then let's see how it goes.
Yes, I did fund because you told us earlier, just before, as we were waiting for the signal that we must open a micro account. I didn't open a micro and fund it, but I didn't because I only wanted to trade the signal on that account. But I didn't trade, but I managed to grow that account. Like I started trading it like Friday. From that 1.2 now is standing on 3.6 now.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. I know
So,
the devil who stole your phone couldn't stop you.
It couldn't stop me.
Yeah,
amen. It tried, but it couldn't stop me. But okay, I'm happy. I'm happy to have this chance. I was so glad that I managed to get through to the meeting so that I will learn more. Since I wasn't so keen before.
Yeah, definitely. No. Thank you so much, my brother. Don't forget to hit me up. So you can just send me a picture of your ID. You can hide your ID number. And I just want to confirm the names. Sandile Kagiso Madonsela, and then we'll
No, it's Sandile Alcin Madonsela. That's my nickname then.
Oh, all right. No problem. Yeah. Thank you so much, my brother.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, Coach.
Who's next on the line?
Hi, Coach. How are you?
I'm okay, my brother. How's it?
Man, I'm great, man. Coach, I don't know if maybe this is the right platform.
What's up?
I understand you said you must share our stories and stuff like that. So I have a problem in terms of the micro account, understanding the micro account.
Okay.
The one that the admin was using. So I realized on the first signal, he deposited 40 Rand, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
And then there was an extra equity.
80. Yeah.
80. So now on the FBK market, I'm using the FBK market. So I deposited money onto my micro account. And then when I started trading, I wanted to find out if under micro there is US tag. Right?
I get your question. I've said this in 2017, before when FBK started. When you see, when I was giving examples, there's what we call liquidity provider, which is basically the people that we are taking money from, I would say, right?
Yeah.
And all these people are studying our patterns. They've studied the 1 minute strategy. They've studied how we trade news. They've studied mods. That's why after you do mods on XM, you're going out immediately, right? And at some point, it's not them, it's the liquidity. We are forced to follow what the liquidity wants at the end of the day because it's their money. You are taking their money. And what I've said in 2017 was, when you find a broker that works for you, you make money in peace. When you are done, then that's where you share it.
That's where you go.
I repeat, when you make money, when you find a broker that treats you well, pays your withdrawals whatsoever, you don't go around sharing it with people. You make money. When you are done, then that's where you share it. What I simply mean by that is when admin is done, I don't know when it's going to be done. He's going to come back to you. But one thing I can tell you, it's not so far from FBK markets. It's like one umbrella. We share 1 or 2 liquidity providers, meaning that even some of the pricings are more or less the same. But it's locally, it's within, but it's not ideally. It's not Vault. It's not Vault. It's not Vault. It's not any broker that's famous and well known, but it's within the same umbrella. So the reason why I said admin must do that with a slightly different broker is so that people don't say that we are auto-funding ourselves. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Okay, no, I hear you.
You know, when witches, they will just say, he owns a broker, it's not real, you know.
Not really,
And I'm just glad that I have people who have taken 40 rands to 2.4 whatsoever, whatsoever. So it's not FBK Markets broker. It's a 200% micro account deposit bonus, which has terms and conditions of lot size. There's a certain lot size threshold that you must meet. That is why when admin is trading it, he goes all out and aggressive, because if not, he will make that money and he won't be able to withdraw.
Okay.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah,
Yes.
I hear you.
So it is something that is not yet introduced, because you guys knew micro account through Veracity, I think, before it was closed whatsoever. I don't know why it was closed. And some of us knew 100% deposit bonus because of XM. Some of you guys knew it because of JP Market. Some of you guys know certain account types because of like zero spread. You know it because of Vault and FBK Markets. So it's something that is still coming. It's not yet well known. So the admin is still making money peacefully. At that, yes, because once you guys come all at once, the liquidity will not be able to handle 40 rand to 1.2 million made by 100 people.
I wish I could.
That is 100 million. It's impossible, you see. But if it's made by 1%, remember now, at the end of the day, my brother, 95% of the people in every broker are losing, right? In XM on its own, about only 27% of the people in XM are winning, meaning that about 73 are losing. Same goes to XNES. FBK Markets, I would say maybe plus or minus 60%, 59% are losing. So when you compare all the stats worldwide, still 95% we are losing. So when the liquidity loses for about 5%, it's not a problem, as to compared to now having to have everyone win. Remember now, the broker, it's like a lawyer, it's a service provider. It's a middleman. They make money through commission and spread. Therefore, there is where the money comes from, which is the insurance. So I've given this example before, and I'm going to make you understand. FBK Market has a threshold liquidity of about, I think it's about 500 million. Do you know what that means? This simply means that if there's one person who deposits 20 rand and makes 500 million, he's going to get paid.
Everything.
If that person deposits 20 rand and makes 501 million, that means that extra million must come from the investors of the company personally. Do you understand what the threshold means?
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, so we are sitting on I think it's an estimation. Keep in mind, these are just examples to make you understand. It's an estimation of about 500 million, right? So when we started, we were sitting on a capacity of 10 million. Keyword, when we started. Now, liquidity is like an insurance. They're saying, okay, you are FBK Markets and you are saying you can bring in clients. We cannot trust you with billions as yet. We're going to start with 10 million. They give you 10 million, and that 10 million, they don't care whether people make 10 million or not. They just want to see the consistency of clients and deposits, right?
Okay.
Now, the first month, we've hit 15 million deposits. The liquidity immediately raised it to 50 million. You understand what I mean? They knew that this company is for keeps. After 12 months, we have passed that target they've put for us. Now they've took us to 500 million, meaning that after 2 years or so, we're going to be on somewhere around 2 billion. That's how it works.
Okay.
The money that you're withdrawing is not from God or air. It's people's money. Whose money? Your Warren Buffett, the owners of those banks. They have invested money through these liquidity providers to do what? To take money from you guys through brokers. Do you guys understand how deep the system works?
Yeah,
So
it's very deep.
what makes me a winner is I sat down and I said, I don't want what the liquidity is making. I just want 0.00001% of it, and I'm a millionaire. I just want 0.00001% of it, and I can be able to start my own brokerage firm. Now, starting my own brokerage firm, what that does for me is that no matter what happens to me on the market, I know for as long as people are trading 24 hours, I'm going to get my dividends, no matter what, for a lifetime. You understand?
Yeah,
So that's how it works. So when you find that broker that pays you, just hide it, make money. When you are now starting to lose, share with people. It's fine.
Hey, but I wish I could be. I wish I could be on that broker.
Don't wish for things you don't know, my brother. Don't.
That's why I was even asking which broker is that. I think you even saw my text on WhatsApp.
But when you go back to the logistics, it's not about the broker. Because if you have 120 rands and you did exactly what the admin did, you could be more or less on the same page. You can still do it on any other broker. It's all about finding a broker that when you make 1.2 million and you process 670,000 withdrawal, they process it and pay it without having to ask you questions. Did you scalp? Did you, all those things. And the advantages, here's one advice that you need to know from personal perspective, from my experience. The advantages of trading Nasdaq are much more better in terms of getting paid than trading the actual news, because the liquidity providers are having a huge problem when it comes to news. Have you guys seen how crappy CPI is nowadays?
That's not moving
And
the same
have
way.
you asked yourself why all of a sudden CPI is no longer the best? It's because CPI was always the best and people were not paying attention to it. But now, 20 brokers in South Africa, 18 of them, out of 18, almost everyone now is on CPI. Now, what happens? Now, the liquidity providers are seeing that these people are killing us. Now, they're making it be unstable. Now, they're bringing NFP. When we all move to NFP, they're going to bring interest rate. They always shift. They look at where masses are, then corrupt that particular trade, move to the next. That is why, that is why now, even us, they can hit us with a mandate as a broker and say, look, now during news, for example, NZD interest rate, traders are not allowed to close trades before 7 minutes. And from a human perspective, you'll be looking at it like, manje coach US Joel. And it's not me, my brother. It's the liquidity. I need to adhere to their terms. Why? Because it's their money. If I say no, that means I'm going to pay you your money. And I don't have it. You see? So it's a tricky world. We as brokers are going through a lot of behind the scenes with complying with what the liquidity actually wants us to do. If you don't comply, they cut you off. It's like insurance when you don't pay your premiums. They cut you off. When they cut you off, if I have an equity of about 50 million and all of a sudden you guys make 300 million, I'm dead.
Oh, that's going to be hard.
So you need a liquidity. You definitely need to have a liquidity provider. If you don't have it, you're as good as dead.
No, I get you, coach. I get you.
Yeah.
So I will just try to find a broker that will work for me, then take it from there.
Yeah. Thank you so much, my brother.
No, thanks a lot, brother.
Thank you.
Sure.
Next on the line.
Coach, can I please ask one more thing, Coach?
Yes, my brother.
I was asking because I can see the Nasdaq signal moves every 3:30.
Yes.
So I was asking, when are you going to teach us like how you do it, how you see it, if it's going down or up?
Okay, it goes back to the 10 points that I've mentioned. My analysis, me and my team, it goes way back with experience to an extent that it's impossible to actually say, now I'm going to teach you, unlike 1 minute strategy. 1 minute strategy, the economic calendar is there. And the cons previous, they're there. The facts are there, you understand? It's just a matter of understanding that when the actual is higher than the cons, which is the prediction, it means buy, vice versa. If it goes against, then it's a sell. Same goes to on USD events. When USD goes up, Nasdaq, gold, silver, they sell, and vice versa. You know, it's not the same entirely, because this one is more based on a memory of bad experiences. I don't know if you understand what I mean. A memory of bad experiences, it's like if I went to jail like Mandela did for 27 years, no matter how much we want to understand the pain, we will never understand it unless you went to jail with him. So it's a journey that most of you guys need to learn. But what I can tell you about Nasdaq is the movement is zigzag, very much predictable. What goes up needs to come down. What goes down needs to come up. The tricky part is the key word in terms of entries. Now, Nasdaq currently moves at 3:30, right? But there's going to be a point where it moves at 4:30. How do you see that? Just know that every time when USD events move at 2:30, when they say NFP is at 2:30, CPI is at 2:30, just know that Nasdaq moves at 3:30. Now, if NFP CPI changes to 3:30, just know that Nasdaq is going to move at 4:30. That's how we know when Nasdaq is going to move. Now, that particular movement when Nasdaq is moving is not really moving. It's a new day in the United States. It's more like that's when the market picks up the direction for the day. So to us, it's like Nasdaq is moving at 2:30 or 3:30, but in the US, it's like a new day. It's like an opening type of thing, whereby now Nasdaq is officially open, even though it was running, but now it's more like Netflix, Facebook, Twitter, Tesla, all these technology companies are now starting to be verbal, are now having breaking news. Microsoft just retrenched 100,000 people. Then you know that it's going to affect Nasdaq, therefore we need to sell Nasdaq. You understand what I mean? That's when those type of news gets broken down. Now, point number 4 on my factors, if I'm not mistaken, I mentioned that I'm a fundamentalist. I know each and everything about these companies that we're trading in Nasdaq. Literally almost the top 30 companies. I know almost everything. I have news about each and every company. So it becomes easier for me. And it's something that I cannot teach you, because instead of me listening to Amapiano, I'd rather watch how Netflix was started. Instead of me going to Groove, I'd rather watch how Microsoft is doing, what is their share price, you know? So it's an interest. It's the love that I have for market. It's not something that I can teach the next person. Now, when I open the chart, it's like I'm a computer just breaking down the information I've consumed over the past 24 hours. And I cannot teach you that. I cannot teach you how to use your spare time. I get to be more smart, more fluent, more information. I get to extract it through my spare time. You see? So it's not something that I can be able to say, now I can teach the next person. Unlike the 1 minute strategy, whereby it's a strategy on its own. You see?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. The next one.
Okay,
next
coach.
one. Yes, my brother.
Yeah, it's me again.
Oh, sure, my king.
Yeah, I wanted to check just to
Tlotiso will come after. Yeah.
Just to deviate from the Nasdaq signals.
Yeah.
You once mentioned that you are bringing an improved 1 minute strategy. Is still that in the pipeline?
Okay. The new 1 minute strategy is done, right?
Okay.
Here is the problem. I'm just going to share with you guys what's happening. I cannot introduce the new 1 minute strategy on the same platform, right? What I mean by that is I have a technology company on the side. I have a team of programmers. Those who follow me a lot might have seen that I took out a couple of posts doing an intern for programmers. So I currently have a team of programmers. As we speak right now, well, obviously during office hours, they are building a new platform for all of us. So what we are trying to do, Betway, how Betway and Hollywood Bets are, the apps, the platforms, looking at TradingView, looking at investing.com. So we are building that type of a platform whereby you are going to find everything in one place. We're working on having to have an app in FBK, within FBK, that doesn't require you to go to investing.com to check out the calendar. That's what they're building. So if I announced publicly so that we are building the app, then the next question is, when are you finishing? I don't know, because those guys are working hard day and night. So that is where the new vision of the 1 minute strategy is going to come out from. But looking at estimation, they said they could take 3 to 4 months to build the platform. So we are still working on it, my brother. And we are also going to introduce a one-time signal. One-time signal simply means that there's a list of signals that are on the platform. And instead of subscribing, so for example, you're able to subscribe for Fifth Wave, but due to work, school, exams, whatsoever, you are unable to trade most of the signals. So what we are trying to do on the new platform is you're going to subscribe per use. You understand what I mean? So this simply means that you're able to say, okay, I'm only going to subscribe for the CPI only. Then you're going to trade that particular signal. Then that's it. And giving an example, you could be a signal could cost you 6 rand. So you just like buy a signal for CPI for 6 rand, and you get the signal directly on your phone through the app or on the website if you're logged in, and then you trade it for that particular moment, then that's it. So that way, it will help those who are busy with other things to be able to be flexible, because now when you join Fifth Wave, in most cases, some of you guys are working and whatnot, it gets hectic. Some of you guys lose your phones and you end up losing the whole savings without having to see what you've done or why you've joined it in the first place. So those are some of the things that we are also trying to improve, and also bringing the journalism side of it, meaning that we are going to be having in-house articles about these technology companies, which are going to also guide you fundamentally so to know where Nasdaq or USD or ZAR or whatsoever is going to be moving. So that's the platform that we're working on, my brother.
Okay, no, sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah, thank you so much. Kotliso.
Sure, coach.
Yes, my brother.
I'm new in this market thing. I joined FBK, I think January. That's when I started to trading seriously.
Yeah.
I decided to join the fourth wave. Coach, and ever since joining FBK, I didn't make any losses. And my first wave, fourth wave, first signal, I got excited. I made the profit. The second, coach,
CPI.
No,
CPI, we all lost. Admin also lost 5,000 rands on that one.
Yeah, that one, coach. Yeah. I was not really emotional for that loss I made. That made me realize to focus on the market. Now I'm starting to monitor everything on the market, starting to follow all the events and whatnot. So coach, I have a question.
Yeah.
What really moves Nasdaq besides the news?
Nasdaq is getting moved by all the 100 companies which are involved, but there is what we call buyers and sellers, right? But in the case of Nasdaq, is not really, there's a couple of factors which move Nasdaq in different occasions. Starting with the buyers and sellers. Buyers and sellers, I'm referring to companies which are growing and companies which are falling within the space of 100 companies. So if 60 companies are growing and 40 are falling with out of that 100, remember Nasdaq simply means 100 technology companies. Adobe Reader, Microsoft, all those companies are within the bracket of Nasdaq. So if 60 companies are growing and 40 companies are falling, that means that on an average, Nasdaq is going to grow. Even though it might do a zigzag going down, but it eventually is going to grow. That's the first case. Number two, out of the 100 companies, we have 10 companies that are extremely powerful. Common sense would be Microsoft, Netflix, Adobe, Tesla, just to name a few. The big companies that you're familiar with, Facebook, like the big companies, Apple. Now, those 10 big companies, the top 10, if they do similar decisions, which means that either they are going down or growing, whatsoever, doesn't matter whether the CEOs have resigned or they've hired new people or the price share have increased or whatsoever, that also on its own can go against all the other 90 companies combined. That is the second factor that moves Nasdaq. Ne? The third factor that moves Nasdaq is anything that happens to the United States dollar also happens to Nasdaq, either presently or in the long run. For example, now apparently there is BRICS. There's an organization called BRICS, which is Brazil, Russia, all those companies, including South Africa, which are forming a BRICS campaign movement, which is going to devalue the USD, right? For example. Now, with that being said, now United States dollar is therefore analyzed to drop, meaning that it's going to lose value according to what this specialists are saying. Now, if United States dollar drops value, automatically Nasdaq, regardless of whether Netflix is good or bad, whether Apple is good or bad, Nasdaq will have to go up. Why? Because it is valued against the US dollar, meaning that the main power against Nasdaq is US dollar. So in order to know the main direction of Nasdaq, the small movements which are happening, going up and down, blah, 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 they're because of the companies that form part of the Nasdaq. But the main power, once you get where the United dollar is going, you automatically know where the Nasdaq is going. So those are the three main things. But the main one is knowing where the Nasdaq, where the United States dollar is going. Automatically, you know where Nasdaq is going. It always goes the opposite. Literally, it always go the opposite. So therefore, it works like that. And then other small movements, blah, 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 they're just caused by the current news which are happening in all these other companies. Remember, it's about 100 companies. And out of the 100, we've probably had of 30. The other 70, we don't know, but it doesn't mean that they are useless because they get to have influence at the end of the day.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
Thank you so much. Guys, I've reached, it's been 3 hours now. The recording has reached a max limit. Otherwise, I'm also tired as well. It's 12 o'clock midnight and you guys need to rest. We've reached the end of our session. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save the recording and I'll send it to the groups tomorrow or as soon as it's available. It's an online recording, meaning that Zoom is also going to process it on the side. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining us and I really appreciate your time. And I really hope you learned a thing or two through people's stories whatsoever in terms of what they went through and whatnot. Otherwise, thank you so much and have a blessed evening. Thank you.